Everybody, and welcome to the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of the pop culture entertainment news website, Jake's Take. I am so excited to have this incredible woman with me. She is part of a growing reality television show called Sequester, which is basically one of the most toughest games that anyone can play, and you have to play it under a whole week. And please welcome one of the grand dames of Sequester, the fabulous season 2 winner, Kim Mattina. Kim, how are you?
I'm great, Jacob. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so delighted to have you here because this has been a big year. I have the America's Got Talent the Champions winner, Be Unbeatable. I had someone that we both love, Adam Klein, from Survivor Millennial versus Gen X. So this is the icing on the cake.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
I know. So we have a passion for reality television. So when did you get interested in competitive reality television like Survivor, The Big Brother, The Amazing Race? And how did that passion evolve the desire to actually compete on it?
Oh my gosh. I started watching Survivor season 1 live. I've never gone back I've gone back and done rewatches, but I've never missed a season. So I've watched them all as they happened. I started watching Big Brother 1 when it happened, including the feeds. I've been a feeder since season 1. Which by the way, season 1 was free. CBS did not charge. And then it went on to another company and then finally on to CBS. And it was on Super Pass, I think it was called, for a while there. And then, The Amazing Race, I've started since it started. The Challenge, I watched I didn't start really watching The Challenge until it was kind of into the seasons. About probably 7 or 8 seasons ago, I started watching it. So
with the Big Brother people.
Huh?
With the Big Brother people.
Actually, I started watching it before the Big Brother people. It was before Natalie was on. So it was a little while ago. Maybe it's been 8 or 9 seasons. I don't know. But I truly enjoy the competitive aspect, the casting process that they go through to get onto these shows, and the chemistry that evolves from being in these competitive programs with each other, and absolutely love it. And that translated for me, I am a competitive person. So I'll watch some of them for entertainment, like Real Housewives is a reality show, but I've never gotten as into it as I have on the competitive ones. And that's my personality. I am competitive. And I am looking to have somebody to root for and somebody to root against. That's what I want. Every season, I have to have one of each. And it's been pretty easy to do that with all the seasons. They always have their villains. They always have their heroes. And that's who I root for.
Awesome. So let's talk about Sequester.
Yes.
When did you get interested in a reality television series, and what was your reaction when you were invited to compete on the show's second season, the filmed version of the second season?
Oh my gosh. Well, I am an OG. I am actually an original Sequester player when it was online season 1.0. I competed in that one and got second place. I lost the jury vote because the jury thought I wasn't humble enough, whatever. I played a kick-ass game and deserved the win, but I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. So I was an original for Sequester, and I got involved in it because I knew Audrey. I knew Audrey from online reality gaming before she was ever on Big Brother. And she was looking for my demographic, the older female, which there's some, but there's not a ton of older women that will compete. And she already knew that I would. And so she invited me to be a part of the very first one. It was an incredible game, and I had so much fun doing it. Was back for All Stars online. So season 6 was All Stars, and I had a huge target, and they got rid of me fairly early. I think I was the 4th boot or something like that. I wasn't the first boot, but I was like the 4th or 5th. And then I was involved in Sequester as far as I was a room moderator on some of the other online seasons and things like that. So I stayed very involved in it. And season 1 rolled around and timing was bad. I was not able to do it. With hindsight being 2020, there's a reason for everything. And the reason was so that I could play season 2, which when Audrey told me I was cast, I was absolutely thrilled and started getting in my mind, what am I going to do? How am I going to work with this? Who's going to be on with me? I had no idea who any of the other players were, obviously. And that's how I got started with Sequester. And I've been the biggest cheerleader of Audrey and the show since then, whether I've been playing or not.
Awesome. So I got to say this. I am impressed because you beat a lot of major heavy hitters from reality television alumni. Our mutual friend, Krista DeBono from Amazing Race.
Love her.
Big Brother 15's Judd Daughtry.
Yep. Love him.
And then not one, but 3 people from Big Brother Canada, Hamza, Jesse, and Cindy.
Yep.
Were you worried about competing against these reality TV alums? Why and why or why not?
You know, when I first walked in the house and saw, let's see, Jesse, Cindy, and Hamza were all there when I first got there. Krista wasn't there yet, and neither was Judd. And I was starstruck for just a little bit because it's like, oh my God, I watched them all compete. I already knew kind of how Hamza played and kind of how Cindy played because they both played online Sequester when we were doing the online version. Jesse, I only knew him from the show. And then when Judd came in, I was like, okay, I love Judd. He played a completely different character than he did on Big Brother, but he was one of my Big Brother favorites. And then when Krista came in, she came in really late at night. It was like, I want to say 1 a.m. or something when her flight finally came in. And myself and Krista and Cindy, Amanda Papo, DJ, Cameron, we all were in a separate house together. So we had a little time to chat and get to know each other. And then they told us we had to go to bed. So we didn't last too long. But Krista and I bonded over coffee, of all things. We both loved our coffee, and we didn't have coffee. And so we brewed water, and we totally bonded right there over that. She was amazing. Loved her. And congratulations when she watches this, and I know she will. Congratulations to her and Nick DeLisi, who won season 1. They've got a baby on the way, due in October.
I am so thrilled for them because I saw their Instagram and their tweet, and I was like so proud of them and so excited for them. And it means a lot. I think it will definitely mean a lot with Krista, and I think it's going to be great. Who knows? The very first Sequester baby.
It's the first Sequester baby. So I can promise you there was probably potential for a lot more, but this is the first Sequester baby. So I'm excited for them. And they're going to be amazing parents. They really are.
I totally agree. So we got to talk about the gameplay. Because a lot of my podcast listeners who do not know about Sequester, it's rapid compared to the level of Survivor and Big Brother.
Absolutely. It is. It's so fast paced, whether it's the online version or a mini or the live version, you have such a limited amount of time. So like in Big Brother, you've got a week to decide who you're voting out. Even after vetoes, you've still got a few days to be forming those bonds, making deals, things like that. Sequester is so fluid that you've got, in some cases, minutes, okay, to come up with who you're going to vote for. And because it's moving so fast and people are going room to room and trying to get in with other people and talk to them and see where votes are and everything else, you have to be so flexible in it. The other big thing with Sequester is Big Brother is laid out. You play for the head of household, you play for power of veto, you vote. Survivor is laid out. You have a rewards challenge, you're playing for immunity, and then you're voting somebody out. Sequester changes every single round. So you cannot pre-plan what you would do as easily as you can for like Big Brother. So it's wild. It's wild.
And that's why I think it's gaining that following, is because of the personalities that play it and how fast you guys play it. And so you got to you got to the online version, the final round once, and then you won the televised version, season 2. What were some of the differences, the similarities and differences between both those times that you made it to the final 2? Besides winning, of course.
Well, the win was a big difference. I think part of it would be that on the online version, it was in its infancy. Its very first season, it was totally concept. And by the time I played season 2 live, Audrey was putting full effort into challenges that we had never seen before in regular Sequester. The casting process, she is amazing at finding that chemistry of people who will get along versus people. She knows that there's going to be conflict, and it's a matter of finding that right level of conflict. And she started that with season 1. And it carried through to the finale of my season. It carried through into season 3, and it's carried through into the minis. So she is really talented at the casting process and the chemistry. Love it. Love it.
Awesome. And I think Audrey has done a phenomenal job. Also, the thing that I have is, what was your reaction when a jury crowned you the winner of the televised season?
I was so nervous for them to read the votes because I knew from a game perspective that I had done pretty well. I mean, I only had 1 vote against me, and I was welcoming that vote because it was an odd even round. And from what I had heard, nobody else was voting for me. It's like, yes, make it odd because then I'm safe. And I was. Other than that, there were never any votes cast against me. But on the other hand, Cam had built some really strong relationships, especially with the guys. And those guys were on the jury. So I did not know. It was not a walk-away win. And as it is, I ended up winning 5-4 on the votes. And it could have flipped very, very easily with him being the winner and me being the bridesmaid again. But fortunately for me, I guess I had a strong enough jury argument that that I got that 1 extra vote that I needed. And I screamed, I cried, Cam cried, the jurors cried, everybody cried. We were a big sobbing mess, but we were all so very excited for the game itself and for the process of it.
Awesome. I want to talk to you about, because we've seen both with Edge of Extinction on Survivor and plus with the upcoming winners at War, the jury is going to be it's going to be massive. And then also I spoke with earlier Nicole Anthony, and she thought that Big Brother should bring in the pre-jurors to the jury. Now, if Audrey did that and invited people like Judd and Krista, who were already pre-eliminated, back to decide the winner, do you think the vote would have turned to Cam's direction, or do you think it would probably stayed on?
Overall, I think I think even if the pre-jury was voting, I think I would have had a pretty good shot because I think Judd more than likely would have voted for me. Krista would have probably voted for me. Cindy, I'm thinking would, because I hadn't turned on her at all. DJ, I would say DJ definitely would have voted for me. But Josh, I really didn't have any relationship with, so I don't think he would have. I think he would have voted for Cam. Hannah, who knows? Hannah pulled me into the battle match against Kilby, but I think Kilby would have voted for me. Is that, Vivian, Veronica, Vampire, whatever we're going to call her today. She would have voted for Cam. She definitely would have voted for Cam. Did I miss anybody pre-jury? I don't think so. I think that was everybody.
Awesome.
So I think I still would have won, but I also still think it would have been a very close vote.
I have to agree with you on that. And then I want to talk about the success of, I was thinking about this with the success of both America's Got Talent Champions and Survivors Winners at War. If Audrey and the rest of the Sequester production team decided to create an all-star season, would you return? Why or why not?
In a heartbeat, I would be back. And why? Because it's an amazing game to play. That's the bottom line. If it were a game I did not enjoy, would I go back? No, probably not. I'd be very comfortable walking away going, I won. No reason for me to put that on the line. But it is such an incredible game with the twists and turns and everything that come with it that I would love to compete against other people. There's people from season 1 that I'd love to play against. Curtis Robert is one of them. Even Sam Loveridge would be another one. Jamie Lee would be another one. There's just a lot of them from season 1. I can't even name them all. Season 3, I would in a heartbeat be working with Tori. I just know I would, because I think she's incredible. Erica played a great game. So did, oh my gosh, I can't even think of names right now. Excuse me. Possibly Jay West. We'd have to see about that. We'd have to see how he was. Mary Payton, in a heartbeat. So, I mean, there's been so many really good players that even if she did All-Stars right now, which she's not, she has enough people that are above and beyond great players that could come back. And it'd be scary. It'd be really scary to see who would align with who and how that would play out.
Well, and of course, do you think that a lot of people are not happy because both of us are who watch Survivor and keep in touch? A lot of the old schoolers, we were mad that all of them been eliminated left and right, while Tyson's the only one that was able to come back in. Do you think that there's been some big speculation that the new schoolers were band together before the game even started? Do you think that Audrey would try to say, oh, by the way, guys, don't even try to contact each other? Or do you think there's a way that the Sequester family will be contacting?
I think Audrey would make sure that people did not contact each other. Season 1, when that happened, they actually were in a group chat together for about, I want to say it was about 2 weeks before their season. And so there was a lot of pre-gaming going on. Season 2, we didn't know who was playing. We had no idea. So there was no pre-gaming going on, which was probably a good thing. I mean, when you look at the cast, Cam, Ashley, Amanda, myself, trying to think here, we had all played the online version, Hamza, Cindy. So we had played the online version, and the people who had played Sequester before we didn't necessarily have a majority, but we were darn close to it. And it would have been very easy to manipulate the game once the game started. And Audrey likes it organic. So that's why we literally did not know who was playing until we walked in the door at the house. Even I was in a car with V and with Ashley going from the airport out to the house, which was about a 90-minute drive. We were not allowed to talk to each other in the car
For all that 90 minutes?
Not at all. And Drew Hilliard he drove us, and he said he got assigned to us because Audrey knew that if anyone was going to talk, it would be our group of three. And like Drew was looking in the rearview mirror. I was in the back seat with Ashley, and V was in the front seat. And he would look in the rearview mirror, and he's like, "Kim, don't even look at her." I'm like, "Oh my God, I didn't say anything." "No, but you're looking at her." So it was really, really strict. There was no pre-gaming. All Stars, I don't think Audrey would tell anybody who's cast.
And at this point, you guys are probably, if the budget gets big and all the sponsors come in, it would be like everyone with a separate card, because that would be total secrecy.
I could see that happening. I could totally see that happening. So yeah, it's nerve-wracking to think, but I think it's still a couple seasons away. I'll be surprised if she does it before 6. Yeah.
I totally agree. So here's the thing. I am impressed with all the mini sequesters that have been going on, between having fans jump in, but also the Rob Has a Podcast one. And both of us have been friends or fans of Rob Has a Podcast for a while. And what was your takeaway from that?
Oh my gosh. It exceeded any expectations I had. I thought, you know what? I love the concept. I think it's going to be good. Most of them were not gamers, but fans of the game and have their own ideas and thoughts on strategies, and of course, critique and compliment games on TV. So I wasn't too sure exactly how it would go. Knowing the personalities, I figured this is going to be fun. This will be a fun night. Oh my gosh, completely blew me away. Rob coming in. Rob coming in on Tyler Kakuna was like made my night, made my week, because I thought that was incredible. The whole thing with Melissa and Michelle did not thrill me, but it is what it is. It's a game, and the point behind the game is you have to vote people out. And I think they're all good enough friends that it wasn't going to be an issue. There were definitely some robbed gods and goddesses. Specifically, Kirsten got robbed. She got out on the wheel. And I thought that I really wanted Mike Bloom to do well. And so he kind of got screwed in it too. So, there were quite a few robbed gods and goddesses, but the bottom line is it far exceeded any expectations I had of what was going to happen with all this.
I agree. It was great seeing all those people face off against each other. But however, I think the Big Brother community is going to be very excited, because for the first time ever, Big Brother USA and Big Brother Canada will face off in the Sequester Mini, and it'll feature Hamza and Jesse from your season, plus stars such as Ika, Karen, Kevin Martin, Anthony. They will be taking on, from some of our seasons from USA, winners Rachel Riley and Andy Heron, plus Caitlin Herman, Ovi K-Bar, Tommy, and Matt Hoffman. So who are you rooting for?
This is really hard. In my heart, I've got to root for Tiffani Russo, because she played season 2 actually online. She won season 2 online. So she's already part of the Sequester community. I have to root for, and she is the one who initially brought up Sequester actually on Big Brother because she was cast afterwards. So she talked about it, which is what got Michelle interested in it. But so Tiffani, I have to root for. I have to root for Ovi, who also talked about Sequester during Big Brother on the live feeds. So I have to root for him. I have to root for Jesse to some degree, even though, I've got advice for the other players that we can go into if you want to, but to some degree, I've got to root for Jesse. Hamza, he is my nemesis. He just knows how to push my buttons. But at the same time, Hamza the character and Hamza the person are two different people for sure. And Hamza the person is really, he's an amazing man. He really is. He's an amazing man. He's a doting father because his girlfriend was pregnant when we filmed Sequester. So we talked about that a lot. And so I have to be there as part of all them. But from a head standpoint, who do I think will do well? You know what? That's tough. And I've got to root for Karen because how can I not root for the older person? Especially, so many people have compared her and I to each other over the last year and a half that I have to root for her. She called Kevin a little puke. How can I not root for her? So she's definitely at the top of my list. She's also a Sequester fan. So she's right up there too. And the other one I would root for is Alex Willett because, Yep, Morgan's sister. But Alex came to when we had the Sequester watch party for season 3 in LA. Dana, who played in season 1, excuse me, is really good friends with Alex. And Dana and Alex came to the watch party. And then I saw her about, I don't know, a month and a half later at the Survivor wrap party. And she is so incredibly nice and so strategic. And I think she's going to do well. I think she's going to be the underdog that gets to the end. And I would put her in my final 4 probably overall. The other ones, Matt Hoffman, I think is going to be underestimated. I think he's going to be pure entertainment. I think he's going to be a troll and he is going to stir shit with a big spoon. So I think Matt is going to be fun. I'm not going to lie. I would absolutely love it if when they do the intro videos, if he is wearing red hair extensions and a policeman's cap, it would make my day.
I just remembered that when he and Reagan and Brittany stormed into Rachel's HOH room and stole that.
In her room, and they're in there wearing red hair extensions and mocking her. So if he did that in his intro video, I think it would kick off the game the way the game should be kicked off with this cast. There's obviously fan favorites. Ika is incredible. And I was so thrilled to see her name pop up. Rachel Riley is so fun. And I think that Rachel and Ika, they're not going to be first boots. Okay. These people have played the game on television. They know who the fans love. Okay. I don't think any of them will go after fan favorites early. I think though the fan favorites are going to go midway because nobody wants to sit at the end with them. Nobody. I would not sit at the end with Rachel Riley. No, she'd be out about 9, 10. Yeah, no, but I'm so excited for this cast though.
Awesome. I also gotta say, we need to have some of the Survivor people on there.
Well, this one was exclusively Big Brother, but who knows? There could very easily be a Survivor season because there's a lot of Survivor players that I am friends with that watched my season of Sequester, that have watched since. I could easily see a Survivor season happening, so it would not surprise me at all. I can name 10 players right off the top of my head.
All right, name them.
I don't want to call any of them out, just in case it happens. But I can name 10 off the top of my head who would play.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So
I bet you Adam would play.
Oh yeah, Adam, I definitely think would play.
Adam watched my season. Adam walked in to the to a reality get together that we had in Vegas in September, and literally walked into the hospitality suite, came up to me, called me by name, was like, "Oh my God, Kim Mattina, your season was amazing. I was so happy for you. I was rooting for you from the beginning." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is Adam Klein." So I was floored by that. So I know that Adam watched. I know that Adam watched season 3. So honestly, I think Adam's got that competitive nature that I think Adam would do it in a heartbeat.
I totally agree with that. I definitely see Adam at the top of Audrey's wish list.
And like I said, there's 9 others I could name, but I don't want to put their names out there.
Absolutely, you don't want them. And besides, some of them might still be thinking about on the edge of extinction, or they could still be in the game. I gotta say, Winners of War, both of us have agreed. It's been a tough. I'm sorry, it's been a tough season to watch. I feel like both of us love the old school generation, the OGs, and seeing Ethan gone and then Danny from my hometown of Kansas City. Sorry about that, guys. And then Boston Rob, Tyson. Oh, by the way, and Poverty and Sandra being eliminated the way they were in the exact same order they were from Heroes versus Villains.
Yeah. Heartbreaking to watch, but at the same time, who's going to leave Boston Rob in the game? Right? If you have a chance to take a shot, you take it, because you might not have that chance again. So Rob going, I was okay with that. Even though I loved him on the screen, the Rob father is something else. Parvati, that one hurt a little bit because I really wanted to see what she could do, because she can be such a manipulative player. She's a puppet master. Let's see, Ethan. In fact, Ethan was one of my winner picks. I really wanted to see him go deep in it, because he is the epitome of what is a survivor, not just as a winner, but in life. So how can you not love that? Danny, of course, old school. So, Amber being on the edge of extinction from pretty close to the beginning. And Natalie, I mean, but you know what? It doesn't really matter who got voted out, because they are all such huge gamers and players and winners, and I wouldn't have been happy with any of the vote outs, to be honest with you. Tyson, I wanted to stay in because he is so entertaining. And Tyson, from the Valley, he's from here not from here. He lives here in Arizona, in Phoenix. So definitely was rooting for him. And he's TV gold. Adam was amazing TV gold. His confessionals, his mindset. I have to wonder if any of the other survivors watched Survivor South Africa, because obviously he did. They hid an immunity idol at tribal council. And he knew that and took advantage of that, and it didn't pay off for him. But if it had, they would have had to, Jeff would have been handing out clean underwear throughout the existing players, because they would have all absolutely crapped their pants right then and there.
Absolutely. And also everyone on the island, everyone, including Jerry and all of his roommate, were like, what the heck? And then when Jeff's probe saw that, I think he said worth a shot. I think he was like saying, season 42, season 43, the Legend season, the 30th anniversary season, that would be officially known as the Adam Klein Idol.
It would always be known as the Adam Klein Idol if Jeff ever puts that into play. But you know what? I mean, I love International Survivor also. So I've watched South Africa, and Australian All-Stars was so good. And there was what they had for their idol in Australian All-Stars was also kind of built into the immunity necklace. And I kept thinking, I wonder if one of those pieces pops out and is an idol. But nobody ever tried it. So who knows if it may have been. But at the same time, everyone probably would have noticed, hey, there's something missing from the immunity necklace. That would have been fun to see, though. And so I would encourage everyone during this time that you're locked down, if you have not watched Survivor South Africa, if you have not watched Survivor Australia, get on and watch it. They are so, so good. So I love them.
Awesome. And I gotta say, I am sad about Big Brother maybe not coming back this year for 22.
I am too, but I don't think it's going to come back during the summer, just simply because of quarantines, production time, set building, all that stuff. It'd be absolutely crammed into no time. And it will not surprise me, though, if we have a fall Big Brother, mainly because think about, okay, so in September when all the new show lineups start, right? Those have already been filmed months before. They're in edit, all of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not filming. So our new TV in the fall is going to be almost non-existent. Therefore, something like Big Brother, that's a much lower budget, has a following already built in, things like that. I could see them doing a fall Big Brother that's not OTT. I could also see them doing it 5 nights a week.
I think so too. And by the way, I have already came up with the ultimate anniversary season for Big Brother All-Stars 2. If you want to hear it, it'd be perfect.
Sure.
So I chose 30 people. This is off my memory. 15 men, 15 women. I combined old school, new school, plus over the top and celebrity.
Okay.
So this is basically the all-star pickings I had, starting by season. You got to have Chicken George because he was like the only tie-in to the original.
Okay.
Dr. Kirby.
Yep.
Danielle Reyes.
Yep. Oh, without a doubt. My favorite player, I think, ever in the history of Big Brother is Danielle Reyes.
I got to say, I know that season 4 Winter June song has been elusive and she's been up and down with the Big Brother, but like, I got to see her play.
I would love to see June play against some of these other players. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I forgot Marcellus from season 3 in All Stars.
I agree.
And then I picked Erica Landon.
Okay.
From season 4 and season 7 All Stars.
Yeah.
Janelle, we cannot have this. This does not go without Janelle.
Not at all.
And then 8 is going to be interesting because I have 2 picks: Eric Stein.
Yes.
And Danielle Donato.
I would love to see Danny play again. Yeah.
Season 10 has 3 representatives. But
How can you pick? How can you pick from 10?
Okay, so here's who the pick. You got to have Dan Giesling.
Of course.
I got to say, Jesse Goddard, spectacular.
He's good TV.
And then I got to have Rennie in there because Rennie Martin We need to have a lot. She's probably one of the best older women to ever play the game.
She's the last older woman to ever play the game. So that's been 12 seasons ago.
And Viacom CBS, off the wall, you're hearing we need more older women playing.
You know what? They're so okay. Number one, name an older woman in any of the shows that hasn't been a fan favorite. Seriously, Karen, Rennie, you name it, and they just have not had much representation, but they've all made it close to the end, if not to the end, and they have all done it in beautiful fashion. They really have. There's something to be said for life experience in these games.
I agree completely. So Jesse represents 11 as well, but then 12, there's 3 people. Rachel Riley.
Okay.
Brittany.
Yes.
Matt Hoffman.
I would agree with all those. Yeah.
And then 13, we have Rachel again, and then also, and Danielle Donato, but also another woman, Shelly.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I would say, yeah. Shelly Moore?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I would say yes. She made moves, and I think she could do well. I think she'd be an underestimated player.
I agree. 14 is represented by Janelle and also Brittany, and Dan, so that's good. So 15 is a little more controversial picks, but I think they would deliver. Andy Heron.
Okay.
And then Amanda Zuckerman.
I don't, based on what that cast was, I would say, I would disagree with that one.
Really?
That's one of them. Yeah, because I think that Judd has matured and would be incredible going back in the Big Brother house. I think that Jessie Kowalski would be fun to watch. She came to game, and just because of the controversial season, she would be tough. She would be tough to beat. Candace, too.
I never thought of that way.
I
But
would bring Candace.
I'm going to be I think this answer is going to get a lot of people mad at me, but how can you not have without Frankie Grande? What? So let me tell you why. Let me just tell him. Day 9, he lasted day 90, 4 HOHs, won the battle block all by himself, and he stayed in the house while his grandfather, first man that accepted him as gay. I got to give him kudos for that. Yes, he's polarizing, but he's one of the great villains.
No, I could live without Frankie Grande on my screen again, really? Without a doubt.
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? He annoyed me. He was so needy, and he just annoyed me. I didn't like him on his season. I did not root for him at all. He was not a hero, but at the same time, he was not a villain. He was a character that I didn't appreciate the level of characterness, maybe. I don't know. But I did not like him as a player, especially because from that season, I loved watching Derek completely manipulate the game. Derek was incredible to watch. Zach Rance was...
I have to disagree with Zach. I really do.
Zach was so entertaining, though.
That he betrayed Frankie.
Yeah. You're welcome. So, no, Zach was, I thought he was great entertainment, and I really liked him.
All righty. But like the thing is, I put Frankie in Derek's place because if you have Will, Dan, and Derek, it's basically like watching Jeopardy Super Champions. You don't want we need to have some excitement on the feeds.
But they're a minority in alliances. So even if they banded together, there's too many other people that could take them out. So
before we leave, I got to talk about redemption because Christine, I think he's redeemed. I've heard a lot, like, I think it's been way too long for her to be, especially when she's also mature. And I saw her with Eric, that conversation with Eric, from your reality recaps, that blew me away. And I got to say, she deserves to have some kind of redemption.
You know what? Christine's another one that I hung out with. Kate Morelli, that played season 1 of Sequester, lives in Tucson, where Christine lives, and they're very, very good friends. So they were actually driving up to Vegas at the same time I was, but I was like an hour behind them. So we were talking on the phone and all that. But I didn't have high hopes for Christine, mainly because I only had the perception from the show. And when I met her, what a wonderful woman. Okay. And it may be a maturity thing. I don't know. I really don't know. But she's definitely had her share of trials, and she has withstood the absolute barrage of hate that she got when she came out of Big Brother, and took it on the chin, and has been such a strong person. And meeting her, she was really, really a very, very kind person. So yeah, I'd like to see her play again too.
Same with me. Okay, so there's a thing I have with Vanessa, and congratulations, Vanessa, with her all 3 of her kids. And I'm like, I think Vanessa, I love her to death, and I know this won't be a thing without her, but do you think I don't think she would pass it up as well, but at the same time, I have a backup for her. Do you want to hear that backup?
Yeah.
Omarosa from Celebrity One.
I think Omarosa would be a great player to see play again. And I'd love to see her play against people that actually know the game, because she was a fan of Big Brother. So I think she would do great. I would love to see Vanessa play again, but I think Vanessa would have a huge target right from the start, because she was a very analytical player. So, but Omarosa would be a good one in there. Yeah.
We have to talk about Da'Vonne. Da'Vonne has been a fan favorite, and I think she would definitely, if she would have to pick the challenge versus Big Brother, it would be Big Brother would win.
Big Brother could use Da'Vonne again. I mean, I know she's been on twice, but she is so fun to watch. And she's also very strategic. I think Da'Vonne would play an entirely different game than what she played before. Because the 2 times she played essentially the same game. I think she would go a whole different route. So that would be fun to watch.
Speaking of which, we're talking about a guy that's been on there twice. That I think a lot of will polarize people, but we gotta have him, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Abrahamian.
He and Frankie Grande can have a seat on the bench together. I was not a fan of Paul the first time. I was not a fan of Paul the second time. I've heard that he's a very nice person. I've never met him. So it's nothing against him personally, but I do not like his style of gameplay. And he's another one who played the same way both times. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it the first time. I didn't like it the second time. Now, if he were to switch it up completely, then I could maybe get on board. But here's the thing. It's easier for somebody like Da'Vonne, for example, who had the same gameplay and was the nice person, she wasn't necessarily a manipulator. She wasn't a villain at all, right? It's easier for a hero to become a villain because nobody sees it coming. If you're honest and loyal, you're honest and loyal, you're honest and loyal, and all of a sudden you stab someone in the back, that is a shocker. Paul, on the other hand, it's hard for a villain, and I would classify him as a villain both seasons. It's hard for a villain to turn that round and convince people, no, that's not really what I'm like. You know, I had to play it up for the game. No. So,
all right. So you're not going to be happy with my next pick, babe. But before we go on that, I got to say, I know Paul. Paul's come on the blog twice, and he's very great. He's a wonderful person. That's the reason why I chose him. Another person that a lot of people are going to be upset I picked, but I think this, especially with he's been going on the challenge, Paulie Calafiore. The thing about it, he can target Paul, Davon, he can target Eric Stein, and even Morgan Willett, because since Morgan Willett is affected to Johnny Bananas.
No, I didn't care for him on his season. I didn't care for him on the challenge. Do I think he's a good competitor? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he is. But I don't know, too much drama outside of the game. You know, it's like, if that's your character in the game, own it. Great. No problem. But if that's the way you are outside of the game, then I don't have a whole lot of respect for that, which is weird because his brother I loved. I thought his brother was great, but I cannot get behind Paulie.
All righty. So, but like if you didn't have Paul, then you can't have like a final showdown between either him or Jess and Cody. It'd been fun to see Paul versus Cody one final time.
Maybe. I didn't think Cody was that great at TV. He was so deadpan, but or even on the feeds. I didn't think he was that great on the feeds either. There were moments, but nothing outstanding. I mean, that was probably one of my least favorite seasons all around, even worse than 9. So there's not too much from that season that I would love to see again.
Okay. Now we get to 20 because there's unfinished business between Tyler, Swaggy, and Caitlin. Because I know that it'd be great to see the three of them have a showdown.
I think that would be fun. Even though I liked Tyler on his season, I didn't like how Tyler's game turned around as soon as he got into showmance. He was a gamer, and then all of a sudden he was distracted. So I didn't care for that much, but I think Swaggy would be fun to see. Christopher I think he'd be great TV. But here's the thing. I want to see Christopher. I don't want to see Swaggy. Okay? Because Christopher, the person, I really like. Swaggy, I wasn't a big fan of, but I liked Bailey. So, you know, that I would like to see Christopher play more than Swaggy play. To be honest.
I understand. And Caitlin, we can't have it without Caitlin.
We're going to see. I'll make that judgment call after she plays on Sequester on Friday. I want to see what kind of hot mess she's going to be in there.
All righty. So, however, we have 3 more seasons. So, Nicole, the only player I would have given an invite back to for All Stars.
Nicole?
Yeah, Nicole Anthony. I love her. She is.
Oh, Nicole Anthony is amazing. I would love to see Nicole Anthony play again.
She would be the only one I would invite back from 21.
Yes. I would agree with you there. No, I would like to see Kemi be able to play again.
I think Kemi would be perfect for a second chance season.
Yeah. I don't think she had an opportunity to earn an all-star bid, but I would love to see her come back and play again. But Nicole, I thought she played uphill the entire game. She was incredible to watch. So I would like to see her. Yeah.
Okay, so over the top, I chose Morgan.
Yes, absolutely.
And then Omarosa from Celebrity 1, but like I love the rivalry for Celebrity 2, and the last 2 players I would pick, Tamar and Tom Green.
Wait, I'm sorry, Tamar and who?
Tom Green.
Oh, okay. Tamar, yes, absolutely. I don't know about the Tom Green one. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him on the season, and I've enjoyed him since the season when he's tweeted about stuff. But from that group, I'd like to see Ross play again because Ross.
Absolutely. I forgot. I like the reason why I picked Tom. Ross lost to Tom, who I picked. So, but
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Ross, because Ross was such a Big Brother fan before he ever went in for Celebrity Big Brother. And I would love to see him and Omarosa at it again. I appreciate more the strategy of the game. So I would appreciate the strategist, which I think Tamar would be. She was before. I think that Ross would be, and I think that Omarosa would be. So I'd be good with any of them. Yeah.
So I picked some, even though there were some duds, I think I picked a pretty impressive cast. And I would and if I were Viacom CBS, I would go from the prize money and triple it to $1.5 million.
They need to up the prize money anyway. I mean, it's been $500,000 for 20 years.
Yeah. And for all-star level, maybe $2.5 million.
You know what? They would have to up the prize money big time to get some of those people. How do you get Will Kirby to walk away from his medical practice for 3 months?
Or shorten it. Maybe.
I think they would have to do that. Either they would have to make the prize fund so big that it'd be hard to say no, or they would have to do it in this kind of the same time frame as a Celebrity Big Brother, where it's 30 days or maybe 45 at the most.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, and besides, that would probably be the fastest Big Brother game ever.
It would run fast like Sequester does. If they did 2 a week, oh my gosh, it'd be crazy. I would love it. I would live for that.
Same with me. So this is probably one of my longest conversations, and I'm grateful for this conversation. So, but we got to wrap things up. So second to last question, why should my listeners check out Sequester?
Because anybody who enjoys the games will enjoy Sequester. It is so fast-paced. It moves at lightning speed. Audrey, like I already mentioned, is incredible with casting on these games. And you know what? You got to go back and watch season 2, because even if you know who the winner is, it's the journey that got me there that is the difference in the game. So it's amazing what a shoestring budget can do. And that's what Sequester has been. So do it. You got to do it. Everyone who has loves it.
All righty, Kim. Now, where can my listeners find you?
On Twitter at Kim Mattina. And there it is. It's spelled right there.
Yeah.
There it is. It's spelled right there. On Instagram, I think I'm also Kim Mattina. I don't know. I don't go on Instagram all that much. It might be Kim in Phoenix. I'm either Kim Mattina or Kim in Phoenix, no matter where I'm at.
All righty, guys. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jacob Elyachar, JACOB ELYACHAR. You can also check out the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast on Spreaker and Apple Podcasts. And you can also check out some stories, including some interviews from other Big Brother players and also challenge winners and America's Got Talent Survivor players up on jakestake.com. That's once again JAKES-take.com. Kim, this was one of my all-time favorite conversations.
Thank you so much. Mine too. This was really a lot of fun. And I love, you know what, bottom line, I love talking about these shows, whether I'm on them or not. And who knows, once quarantine is lifted, if I'm, not having to hobble out of a wheelchair or something, who knows, maybe one of these days I'll actually apply to not to Survivor. They'd kick me off the island, but I would apply to Big Brother in a heartbeat. And
seriously.
Thank you. And if it hadn't been for all of this stuff going on, I probably would have submitted for this year, but there was just too much going on that I didn't feel like this was a good year to do it. But I will. If they stay on the air, I will do it.
All righty, guys. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Jake. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.